How do you ask someone to be the last person to die for a mistake? You can't escape it. Undoubtedly, by now, you know about the situation in Afghanistan. The Taliban has marched all the way to the capital city of Kabul. The president of Afghanistan has fled to the neighboring Tajikistan. Um, Tons of chaos in many of the major provinces. Taliban has struck deals with many of the local warlords and local controlling parties there to form alliances and essentially take territory without firing a single shot. The Taliban, as before when they took over in 1996, are pledging, to bring peace and tranquility to the country. That's a lot to be desired based on their history, but we'll see. And there's been a lot of criticism of President Biden for his handling of the withdrawal. And why now? Well, I'm going to give 3 reasons why I support the Afghan withdrawal. I'm going to give one major critique of President Biden's handling of the withdrawal as well. First reason why I think now is a good time to leave is because since the initial invasion back in 2001, every presidential campaign, either Republican or Democrat, has said we want to get out of Afghanistan. The mission of expunging Al Qaeda was accomplished within the very first year of the conflict, but along the way we got sidetracked and we want to nation build in Afghanistan. A lot of people have tried. Alexander the Great, the Russians, the USA. It's not a thing over there, okay? That's not one country with one ideology. You have several different ideologies, tribes, alliances. It's a very complicated situation, which many Americans just wouldn't understand. In America, you can't get a Texan to agree on the same policies as someone from New York City. So how did you think in Afghanistan you're going to get people who are not exactly a country before the British drew that map to agree on one sovereign centralized government? Every administration that's come in has said we're going to get out of Afghanistan. Obama surged in Afghanistan and vowed to get us out. President Trump negotiated an agreement to get us out, and now President Biden has done it. That's reason number 1. Reason number 2, look, the American people support it. I believe the numbers are around 70% of Americans support this withdrawal. So anyone who's saying on mainstream media that this will stain or cripple Biden's presidency or it'll be a drag on his legacy, I think they're wrong, because many people support this. He campaigned vigorously on this. President Trump negotiated this withdrawal, and I think the people are behind it. Besides, Afghanistan is one of those things in the American psyche that we don't even think about it anymore. Most Americans don't even remember where Afghanistan is, if they even knew where it was in the beginning. You tell an American Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, you might as well be speaking a different language, because they don't have any concept of that. Reason number 3, how do you ask someone to be the last person to die for a mistake? The idea of nation building was a mistake from the beginning, and you can't continue to send people indefinitely into Afghanistan for that idea. Although we haven't been doing that in recent years, I think we've been doing more counterinsurgency. But how do you send someone in there? How do you send someone's daughter or son in there to be the last person to die for that mistake? How many more years, if you disagree with the move to withdraw now, how many more years are you prepared to be in Afghanistan? $2 trillion later, 20 years of a stain on American prestige. How much longer? That being all said, I do have one major critique of this withdrawal. Just like when President Trump had wanted to withdraw within months, I believe in the last year of his presidency, I think it was more a maneuver to get, a political maneuver to kind of gain support for his reelection. I think also President Biden should have had a more robust plan to get the advisors and the collaborators out first. Because what I think President Biden did, what Joe Biden did in this case, is he had an arbitrary date. He wanted to get it done before the 20th anniversary of September 11th. So they set an arbitrary date. I think you probably need at least another few months or another year to get it done correctly, where you would not have the chaos at the airport in Kabul. Because Joe Biden can say whatever he wants. The administration can say whatever they want. It is awfully reminiscent of Saigon right now. For those old enough to remember that, I'm a little bit too young to have seen it with my own eyes. I was born a few years after the withdrawal in Saigon. It's one of those things that you can really, 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 really lose a lot of prestige as a country, especially if you're claiming to be the most powerful, well-equipped fighting force the world has ever seen. It looks a little bit tacky the way we're leaving now. So that's my one big critique. Let me know what you guys think. I'd be happy to read, and I do respond to all comments at this time. So let me know.